A very warm welcome to you all. I am Vijay Sir. I am the faculty of history here at L2A. And as you can see from the map that today we are going to discuss about map based questions in history optional paper 1. And we are not talking about any other sites or the traditional sites that one needs ask, but we are going to discuss this map pointers based on current events and analysis and those archaeological sites which made it to the headlines. And the lot of debates in and around happening and many newspapers have reported. So some are of very significant, some have been very controversial, and we have identified some around 20 odd such sites which made it to the headlines. Some I have divided them into different categories. The initial is that made it to the headlines based out of their findings and pushing the antiquities beyond 3rd century BCE. Okay, those are those sites. Then there are some geoglyphs and petroglyph sites which made it to the UNESCO list, tentative list. Then new sites have been found in some parts of Assam and in Goa. So rock paintings have been also found in Mizoram and then the Uttaranchal, and in Tamil Nadu and Andhra and Maharashtra, etc., etc., etc. So initially today we are going to talk about only 3 sites in Tamil Nadu, which are very important as well as very controversial also. Okay. So before going to these sites, let me also try to brief you on the importance of map based questions in your history paper 1. Okay. As you all know that paper 1 is for 250 marks. Okay. Out of 250 marks, the first question is for 50 marks. So you have 20, in first question you have 20 map pointers, something like this. They will be located on the map, and you need to identify those sites and write about them. Okay. So each pointer carries about 2.5 marks and 20 pointers will be given, and this is to 50 marks. So you need to only write in about 30 words. Okay. So when you write very accurately, locating the geography, presenting the geography where it is located exactly and also precisely, when you write the most significant of facts about this in the map pointing questions, the examiner will be able to give you more than 45 marks in the map pointing section. So that makes a very good impression on the examiner, and it may or may not determine, but he will have a very good impression on the aspirants who write a very good map pointing question. Okay. So that might determine your next correction, and while having a very good impression on the aspirant who has written and who has scored 45 marks here in the map, may also determine very good number of marks in the other sections as well. Okay. So this is all an assumption, but generally it carries a very good impression on the examiner, that we need to understand that. Okay. So maps have been very important. Okay. Next, coming to the kind of sites that one asks every year in the examination are theme based sites, right from prehistoric sites, from Paleolithic, Mesolithic, Neolithic, Chalcolithic, Megalithic, Indus Valley civilization, certain Vedic sites like painted graveyard sites, North black polished ware. Then you have the Mahajanada period, you have different Mahajanapadas and its capitals. Then there are ancient capitals, trade route centers, and also places of historical, especially the importance in terms of the education that it has provided, and some religious pilgrimage sites, ancient pilgrimage sites are of religious importance. So these are all the questions that one will ask in the map section every year. Okay. But apart from all those things, the UPSC also might ask a number of sites which made it to the headlines or which made it to the current events and analysis of or much significance. Okay, that significance is based on the criteria that which will value add to the chronological, determining the chronology of that particular site and pushing the antiquities to a much older phase. That is one significance, and the new findings can give a new perspectives to the understanding of entire archaeology or the prehistoric period or the historic period. So that or it can be also significant that certain sites by providing the archaeological base, it can be corroborated with the literary aspects. So thus concretizing history or historiography will help the the Indian history to a much larger extent. So these are the kind of questions that the UPSC can ask or might ask. Okay. So now let us look at those three sites that we are going to take up today is based out of entirely on current events and analysis. So now, sorry, the first and the foremost in the list is this site. This is, the site name is Keeladi. So the Keeladi site has made it to the top news in the sense, it predominates other sites. Why? Because it pushes the antiquities back to the 8th century BC to 5th century BC. And till 3rd century CE. So pushing the antiquities in the South India has made it very significant and also very controversial. Let us get into the nitty-gritties of this controversy. Okay. So we should know the history of Keeladi excavation first. So the controversy is like that because very recently one director of archaeological survey of India, Amarnath Ramakrishna, has been transferred from Tamil Nadu to many other places, and now he is posted somewhere in the Noida, Uttar Pradesh. Okay, a very insignificant post. So what has he done? In 2015, the Keeladi in 2015 to 2016, when he was posted in South Tamil Nadu, Amarnath Ramakrishna has excavated this site. So its geographical location is like this. It is 12 kilometers southeast of Madurai. Southeast of Madurai. The Keeladi location is 12 kilometers southeast of Madurai, and this village is found in Shivganga district. Shivganga district. And it is on the banks of Vagai river. On the banks of Vagai river. Okay. So that is the geographical location. So Amarnath excavated this site in 2015 and 16. First two phases. This determines the first two phases. First and second phases he excavated, and he found out some 5082 artifacts, art and artifacts, and send it to various laboratories in India and across the world to determine the age of the archaeological site. Okay. So he used accelerator, AMS we say, accelerator mass spectrometry, AMS dating. He also used pollen analysis, photo analysis, in determining the age. So, AMS dating method. I think some 23 fragments, micro milligrams by milligrams. He sent, the bone dust or, the bone, the charred grains or the charcoal fragments, very, very minute, or it is measured in milligrams. So he sent some 23 of such and he sent to various laboratories in and around the world in determining the age of those fragments. So, based on that data which came back to us, he determined it from 8th century, the first phase from 8th century to BCE to 5th century BCE. So, that makes it the very complicated issue. Why? Because it is putting the history of Tamil Nadu, especially Tamil Nadu Keeladi side, much before than the Indus Valley civilization or much before than the Aryan civilization or the Vedic period. So that made it a very controversial issue. Okay. So once he has analyzed these artifacts, so let us also talk about here the artifacts what they were found here. So the artifacts are like well structured site, well structured layout of bricks, then you find they found the ring wells, terracotta ring wells having a very good drainage system, drainage indicating drainage system. Then there were many pottery, they found the black and red ware, the black ware, black polished ware, rolled ware. So when you found so many pottery ware, and they also found many beads, bead making industry, in the sense they made beads out of glass, they made beads out of semi-precious stones like agate, carnelian, and even lapis lazuli. Okay, so beads. When this kind of artifacts are found, indicating a well laid brick layout, and ring wells indicating a drainage system, and a pottery sherds and beads, and even graffiti. Graffiti means certain symbols inscribed on certain pottery sherds. They found certain ancient Tamil Brahmi script, some indications of it, indications of Tamil Brahmi script. So when all this finds indicate that it was a very well layout urban planning, and which is equating to the Indus Valley civilization or the Indus Valley civilization, as we all know that it is the first urbanization period, and which you can determine the age of the Indus Valley civilization from 2600 urban phase, mature urban phase, 2600 to 1900 BC. This is mature urban phase of the Indus Valley civilization. But based on the AMS dating, then photo and pollen analysis, Amarnath Ramakrishna put the initial phase to from 8th century BCE to 5th century BCE. Okay, fine, that is fine. Then the second phase, it determines it is corresponding with the Indus Valley civilization or much beyond the Indus Valley civilization. Okay, so that is the thing. Then you have, he has presented some 982 page report to the Archaeological Survey of India, 982 page report, okay, long time back. But the Archaeological Survey of India has not accepted his report or not made it public. The report has not made it public, okay. What we all know is from various speculations, Tamil Nadu, yeah. So he has not, and he was transferred from there, in 2016-17, he was transferred out of Tamil Nadu. Then what happened? In 2017, the Archaeological Survey has deputed another Sri Raman, another officer of the ASI, Sri Raman, and started the third phase of excavations. So he said that there were not much significant finds and of not significant. So he just brushed aside. So then the Tamil Nadu State Archaeological Department, stepped in and put a case in the High Court, and where the High Court of Tamil Nadu had to intervene and handed over the archaeological excavations to Tamil Nadu State Department, Archaeological Department. So they excavated, and many artifacts later on have been found, and they have tested in their own labs and stuff. So then they determine the age, putting the antiquities much beyond, or it corresponds with what the findings of the Amarnath Ramakrishna. So that is all the controversy, and he was also very recently also transferred to Noida to a very insignificant post. That is all about the controversy. Okay. So on what basis the Archaeological Survey of India has asked Ramakrishna to revise the report? So and there are two, three counts. The one is classification, proper classification, and date adjustment, proper classification of the excavated stratigraphy, date adjustment, and the third is well structured document. They wanted a well structured document including village maps, stratigraphy drawings, and they also wanted a concrete evidence. They wanted a concrete evidence to the first phase, that is 8th century to 5th century BC. So they wanted a very concrete evidence in determining the age. So they have sent it back and Amarnath refused to, so he was transferred. So that is a different story altogether. So now, what, in case Keeladi is mentioned as a site in your map pointing question in 2025 mains, then what do we need to write? And what archaeological survey of India has to say about this entire Keeladi excavation? So one needs to be politically correct, and because you just have to write about 30 words, we need to be politically correct, and as we are all informed now, we will take an informed judgment and opinion about the entire Keeladi excavation and its finding, and we will give a proper write up in 30 words. Okay, so we will see that what we need to write. Sorry. First thing what you need to write is exact geographical location. What do you need to write here is located 12 kilometers southeast of Madurai, located in the Shivgalai district of Tamil Nadu on Vagai river, on the banks of Vagai river. That is the first statement. Okay. Second thing, what we need to write is, it was excavated in 3 phases by the Archaeological Survey of India. First phase 2015 to 2016, first and second phases, in the third phase in 2017. Okay. So 2017, and so we know in 3 phases. It is generally agreed by the ASI that some 5082 artifacts have been studied, and they were analyzed, and the pottery that were found, that black and red ware, black ware, black polished ware, and bead industry, significant urban planning, especially well structured layouts, and terracotta, ring wells indicating a well drainage system, and all those findings you need to write. Okay, and it is agreed that the ASI agreed to one fact, that it has determined that it is pre 3rd century BCE. So putting the antiquity to pre 3rd century BCE. Okay. So initially we know about the Tamil state formation, the South Indian state formation, especially in Tamil Nadu, from the literary sources, that is the Sangam literature. But the most significant fact is that when the age is determined to pre 3rd century BCE, we have a strong archaeological base to the Sangam literature, especially Tolkappiyam, Pattu, Padanikal. So when you have a strong base, then the Sangam literature and the Sangam states that were existence, the Cholas, Cheras and Pandyas, so it corroborates with the archaeological evidences along with the literary sources. So pushing the early state formation in Tamil Nadu, South India. So that is the important significant fact along with the findings and the location. That's all you need to write in 30 words. You need to even precise this, what I am saying. So that is all we need to write, and that will give you a very balanced and a political answer. Now the second site in Tamil Nadu is Rediyur archaeological site. Rediyur. So the geographical determinant of this thing is located in Yelagiri Hills. Yelagiri Hills in northwest of Tamil Nadu, bordering Andhra Pradesh, northwest of Tamil Nadu. So it is important here to note that this site is located in Yelagiri Hills, 1000 meters above the sea level. Okay. So this is rock paintings. This site is determined because it is significant because of its rock paintings. And it was recently excavated or discovered in June 2025. So here you have the largest animals, paintings. Around 80 of such paintings were found. Have been found on 3 faces, on the rock faces near a cave. So it was charred on the 3 cave faces. So you have some 80 paintings such types. So what is it? What does it depict? The paintings are in white pigment made of white pigment and it depicts various scenes. Humans mounted on animals, then people carrying children, then you have antlers, you have leopards, and also some kind of a leader or the tribal leader at the point of time was carried on a palanquin. So even this white pigment is of mysterious origin. So they have not able to determine so far yet because it was very recently found. So they will, in course of time, they will find out the origin of that pigment, where it has come from, the organic matter, and so on and so forth. But what is important is here we need to understand that this cave, the face of the cave where these paintings have been drawn, and the cave can itself accommodate around 50 persons. So it can, the ancient people can, around 50 people can stay in the cave itself, large cave. And human animals mentioned, humans mounted animals, that is, which was not found anywhere. Then, you people carrying children, and some kind of a leader who was carried on a palanquin was also depicted on the paintings. So that makes it very significant. 80 in number is also very significant. Determining this redure, your rock paintings to redure rock paintings to the Iron Age. Okay, so that is the significance of this site. Redure archaeological site known for its rock paintings dating back to the Iron Ages. depicting hunting scenes, celebration, people mounted on animals, animals like leopard and antler deers are mentioned, and a tribal leader carried on a palanquin is also depicted, which was made of white pigments of mysterious origin. In course of time, they will determine the exact from which organic material the pigment was made. And the northern, we know most of the archaeological prehistoric archaeology site down in the south, but this gives an additional information on the prehistoric people, especially the Iron Age, and even some the techniques of the paintings. What the archaeologists say, that the technique of the paintings can be pushed back to the even the Neolithic phase. That is what the archaeologists are also saying. So that determines new evidences on the prehistoric man of North Tamil Nadu. That is the significant, and it was recently discovered by the conservationist of the Archaeological Survey of India in the Elagari Hills, that is Reddiur site, 1000 meters above the sea level on the face of the cave. Okay, that is about the second. That is what you need to write about in 30 words. Coming to the third site, that is here, if you look at it, this is known as Shivgalai. Located in the Tootukkudi district. Tootukkudi district. Tootukkudi district of Tamil Nadu, and it is in between Korkai and Adchinalluru. They are also very significant because they were also prehistoric rock sites or Iron Age sites. So, especially Shivgalai is important because of iron smelting site. Iron Age site, you can call it, and also its associated burials. Okay. So, what did Shivgalai had to say, and why is it most significant? Because it's of 500 acres and some 85 iron objects or artifacts have been found from 160 urn burials. We all know that urn burials, megalithic cultures, you have urn burials. At the outset of this, urn burials, there was some kind of a stone circle placed around. So, it was a megalithic period. Some stone circles were placed at the, outside, and, in the burials, you have some iron objects were also found here. Okay. And this is a very significant because its antiquity or the date is determined to 3345 BC. So, the Iron Age, as we know from the Indian subcontinent, that it comes after the Bronze, Chalcolithic, and later on Iron Age, and especially it is very much related to Vedic period. But as we know, the Vedic period is from some 1500 BCE to 600 BC, and later on iron continued. That is a different story altogether. But the iron smelting of iron and the date 33545 BCE, it is putting the antiquity of the iron technology much beyond what we know of the earliest Hittite sites in Anatolia. So, where are these Hittite Anatolia? Anatolia is in present day Turkey. The earliest iron smelting technique, was found in Turkey in the Hittite site in only in around 2200 BCE. to 1200 BCE. Okay. So, other findings of this Shivgalai site are rice husk, millets, bones, remains, and as I told you, there are 75 iron objects. So, that is very significant. So, now let us kind of summarize the Shivgalai site. It is located in the Tuticorin district of Tamil Nadu in deep south, down south, and it is between the Kurukai and Adichanallur sites, and it is also located on the banks of Timarapani river. Okay. Then it is significant because of its iron smelting, where it belongs to the Iron Age, but the date of the Iron Age is pushed back to 3345 BCE, which is much older than the earliest known iron smelting sites found in Anatolia, Turkey, that is from 2200 to 1200 BCE. Okay. And so, it is one way very significant because we know iron technology in down south much before than the copper age or the bronze age. Okay. And many observers like archaeologists who believe in the diffusionist theory that iron smelting was also known parallelly to South Indian, and they thought that it came from Anatolia and it spread across the iron smelting technique. But the diffusionists argue that it has parallelly, we know, especially the South Indians know the iron smelting technique, and it has also pushed the antiquities of the iron technology and the iron based implements much before the Indus Valley civilization, if you look at it. Okay. So, that makes it very significant, and the Shivgalai site, that today what we have learned is the Shivgalai site, then the Redayur rock paintings and also Keeladi are very important in terms of pushing the antiquities much beyond the Indus Valley civilization, So, that is where they might be asked in your map pointing questions.